39. Constance. "You look just like Captain Hepburn," said Bill as he held the taxi door open for me. He said it quietly, under his breath, like he was afraid he might be insulting me. And also he didn't want Brand to hear. I remind myself everything he did or said would be tainted with fear. "Thank you," I said. I didn't think I looked much like the famous actress, but I was wearing trousers and she was the best known for her elegance wearing them. For my part, I just thought destroying dangerous machines would be less practical on the skirt. As a text, choice had been up in my mind. "So this is where the world ends," said Brand, coming beside us, staring with us at the dingy little bar. "Really not." I said, "Come on, lead the way, Bill. We don't have time to admire the scenery." "Stay calm," I told myself. "Stay calm." Bill nodded and led us inside toward the back room. No one stopped us. There weren't that many people to do that anyway, but even the bartender didn't give us a second look. Did he know what lurked beneath him? Did he care? We entered an empty back room, and Bill pulled down his tool bag carefully, fell along the back wall. He stopped and smiled to himself. He took a deep breath and pushed the wood panel in his hands, retreating an inch, and then slid to the side. "I hate secret entrances," I said, thinking about that evil metal door in the factory. "I hate them more," replied Brant. We looked at each other and gave me a wink. How he was standing upright in the first place impressed me, but that he was walking and joking was nothing sort of miraculous. "Let's go, let's go, let's go," ordered Bill frantically. I flicked on my flashlight and walked through the hole in the wall. The floor slumped downward and shoved the light around the space in front. The tunnel in the distance was all darkness, but to the side there were the conveyor belt. Those bootleggers had thought of everything, more like to follow the tunnel. And I looked behind me to see Bill and Brad coming up beside me. "Come on," said Bill. He started walking down the tunnel. We followed, and I thought it was interesting how fear also propelled a person forward, not just hold them back. There was the fear of the thing, but there was also the fear of not doing the thing. In this case, I suppose the fear of what would happen if we didn't break the machine, if it was taken back to New York. We followed him down the tunnel, surrounded by the light of 3 flashlights. The darkness followed behind us, and every once in a while I gazed at the blackness, wondering if there was anything in the shadows. The monster was stalking us, and not the other way around. I squeezed the fire poker I was carrying in my right hand hard, just to remind myself it was there. I wasn't entirely sure what I could do with it. I'd never been taught how to fight, but I knew that the constant hurting, the anger inside would tell me what to do. The dark void in front of us turned suddenly brighter, and brighter. We stopped in the front of the wall. The tunnel flooded now. We have a choice between left or right. "Which way, Bill?" I asked it, frustrated at his decision. He was supposed to be our leader after all. He's been there before. "Left," he said, not sounding entirely certain. "Definitely left." We followed him left. Though he turned, I shone my flashlight right just to see if there's any hint of the machine in that direction. All there was more darkness. We continued down the tunnel. Our flashlights highlighted sudden black voids in the wall, turn-knobs down other tunnels. We kept doing straight, marveled at all. The side of the underground system. How they had built all this? Was it built to transport illegal alcohol, or had some of it existed before? It didn't matter. None of my questions mattered. All that mattered was the task before us. We had to do this. We just had to. We reached the other wall, another fork in the road. Bill stopped. "Which way?" I asked again, feeling even more annoyed. This shouldn't have been talking so long. "I don't know," he replied it. "You don't know?" I asked it. "This is absurd." I didn't make it this far. He was quiet when he said it, almost ashamed. He shone his light down one direction and then the other. "I don't know." He did it again. "I don't know. I really don't know." The light started to shake, and I looked at his hand. His whole body was shaking. He was panicking. He didn't have time for this. "Hey," said Brand, coming up beside him, putting a hand on his shoulder. We followed the conveyor belt, pointed with the light to the left, to the right, and sure enough there was the other conveyor belt along the far wall. Bill looked too. He nodded. "Yes, that makes sense," he said. "Lead the way," said Brand, giving him a friendly pat on the back. Bill nodded and turned right. We followed him again. It felt like we'd been following him forever. I couldn't take much more of this. My skin was itchy with frustration. I felt like a small child wanting to cry out, "Are we there yet?" And then we were there. Another one, but not the other tunnel. There was a door shaped sand cut into it. They were at the hand level. Bill immediately figured out how to open it by sliding into the left. So many sliding doors. Then there it was, right there. We were standing far at the end of the room, facing the far side of the machine. Instantly, my heart was in my throat as the memories come flooding back. I didn't want to think about any monsters lurking in the shadows. So I quickly marched across the room and turned on the lights. They flickered to life and highlighted the familiar space. I looked around as I saw the icebox, and the door still opened. Well, they hadn't recaptured the beast, it seemed. Of course they hadn't. What Well done, Bill, said Brand. Again, Bill just nodded. Why don't you just sit down and rest for a moment? We don't have time for that, I said from across the room. How can anyone rest at a time like this? Yes, we do, replied Brand, giving a meaningful look. Boys and their meaningful looks. Half the time they didn't know what the meaning was. Expect the rest of us to assume something profound. We really don't. I glanced at that open secret door. There was nothing but blackness but beyond it. No, nothing. Somewhere out there lurked a monster that wanted to kill us all. I have been so scared of alerting the beast to our presence I will be screamed in frustration. Brand helped Bill to sitting, leaning him against the wall, and he walked over to me. I could see the pain in every step he took. You can't let the ink win. Don't let your anger take over, doll. Don't call me a doll, I said. Sorry, I won't again. Let him recover. He can't do the work properly. It'll take less time this way. We know that's true. I understood what he meant. It felt impossible to just sit and wait for Bill to get over the fear we could never get over. I will never get over this rage. We have finished all of this. I'll make another vial of the solution. I'll fix us. I could fix things too. I walked over to the machine to what I had decided was his friend with a giant open pipe, like a gaping yawn. I stared at the black ink coking inside, up to the darkness and shadow. Don't touch it! Called out Bill from the spot on the ground. I'm not going to, I said as calmly as I could. I have no intention of touching the machine. I remember the night clearly. I remember Bran reaching up inside and then the sound of the monster. A monster that must still be on the loose somewhere. What do we do, Bill? I asked it. Bill was just sitting there like a lump, looking at the ground. He looked at Bree, then nodded out, and did again. He was wasting time. He was indulgent. He was being a rich kid who had never actually real troubles fall onto his shoulders until now. Not that it was happening, he couldn't face them, ink or no ink. This is who he was. I couldn't stand it. I wouldn't stand for it. I was sitting here waiting for him to make all the decisions. I had the brain too. I know I had needed to be done. We needed to destroy the machine. It was as simple as that. We probably didn't even need Bill in the first place to do it. Breaking things is so much easier than fixing them after all. I marched to the other side of the machine where the long pipe curled. I raised my poker and with a loud, early cry from somewhere deep within me, I stepped into the side of the machine. No! Constance, no! Called it Brand. The spirit praised the metal. I was shocked when it plunged deep into the machine. I hadn't really achieved my plan could work. I thought I wouldn't be strong enough, or the metal of the machine would be possible to read it. The black ink gushed out and ran down on me. I pulled hard on the poker and watched it, falling backward onto the ground. I watched as the ink and strange fingers scrubbed its way along the floor toward me. I scrambled away from it, staring stunned at the mess I made. Constance, are you right? Asked Bram, leaning over and bending down my side. I'm fine. I didn't think this could happen. I was just angry. I was shaking now. My turn, I supposed. What have I done? What have I done?